I'm 27F, a teacher, and my principal, 40SM, asked me out. I feel very upset and don't know what to do. I am a middle school teacher. Last year, we got a new principal in our school who is very unpopular among the teachers. He has been very critical in all of his evaluations and shared some unkind words with our teachers when he has had a criticism. I, on the other hand, have received glowing evaluations as a teacher under every observation. I have yet to hear mean or harsh criticisms from him, and I even got a lot of new things for my classroom this year that no other teacher got. I'm really upset and feeling like shit now. I thought he appreciated me and had respect for me as a teacher. I really did. After school today, I went to his office to ask him about a semester exam for a particular student. After we discussed the student, he got up and shut the door and sat in the seat beside me. I got a pit in my stomach because though I was being disciplined for doing something wrong. He then said that he had heard me saying that I get together with friends on the weekends to play cards. He asked if I'd ever like to get together, just the two of us, and play cards at his house. He was very clear he did not mean it as a date because he is my direct supervisor and that he meant it just as friends. Not sure I believe that. He just asked me not long ago if I was making another visit soon to state where my ex-boyfriend lives, and I told him that I wasn't with that guy I used to visit, so no. My face got really hot, and I stammered that I would not be interested in dating, but maybe sometime because I was too nervous to say no with him sitting next to me. I have been really upset since I got home. I've been so stupid to actually think that I was a great teacher. I feel like it's all been a lie, and I just want to curl up in a ball and cry. All of my glowing evaluations mean nothing. I plan to go in his office before school very early tomorrow and tell him that I thought about it and am not interested and think that it would be a bad idea to spend time together under any circumstance. What is the best way to approach this? How do I pick my self-esteem back up? TLDR, my principal and boss asked me out, not as a date, and I'm really steamed and upset. Relevant comments. All of my glowing evaluations mean nothing. Just because he likes you doesn't mean that you aren't a good teacher and that your work is not excellent. Don't let him have such power over yourself. Do you love your students? Do you do your best to give them a good education? Do they get along with you? Focus on that, not on him. OOP. My students brighten each and every day for me. I try to make the subject as interesting as possible, and I'm excited to come to school each day. I love each of my colleagues as well. They always ask me why I am in such a good mood. I take the time to chat with them and see them as often as possible. I have been at the school 2 years longer than this man. My wife is an elementary school teacher, and her principal did the exact same thing last year. The teacher in question filed a complaint with the Teachers Association and the superintendent. The district took it super seriously, and the principal was fired and replaced before the end of the school year. You should file a grievance. The principal has a lot of power over the teachers in a school, and I can't think of a way to look at a situation like this without there being a serious problem. OOP. I feel like I'm in a sticky situation because he made it clear in telling me that he was not interested in dating, but just hanging out alone. Right. What should I say to him? On the other hand, I do wonder if this could be a blessing in disguise for all of my teacher friends.
They are so unhappy.
I hate to see them miserable at work. Update 9 months later. So, the original post is here, but the short version is that I am a teacher in my late 20s who was asked out by my principal last December. Or should I say, former principal. I'll call the principal Mr. S. Edited the hyperlink. One thing I noticed in the original post is that many replies said to contact HR immediately. Those comments were pretty out of touch with my actual small school system in a tiny community. The chain of command goes from principal then directly to superintendent of schools. Also, that means that transferring to another school in the district would be out of the question. I thought comments telling me to leave or transfer were taking it a bit too far. I adore the school, and I have more self-respect than to just leave an uncomfortable situation. I received so much encouragement from others in my original post. The next day after I wrote the post, I left very early for school. I arrived before any other teachers were there, only Mr. S in his office. I left a recorder in my pocket, legal in my state, and walked into his office to ask if I could speak with him. Briefly, with the recorder on, I told him I was very uncomfortable with being asked to spend time with you at your home alone. He simply said, okay, and I left. Pretty uneventful, but I was worried he would deny it happened when I reported him, so I wanted to make sure I had something on tape. In regards to the resolution, I gave a written statement to my superintendent of schools about the incident. The school system is tiny, about 600 students from P-12, so they don't have an HR, and it's not unusual to go directly from principal to superintendent, no middleman. I won't go too much into the discussion, but we came into a mutual agreement that it towed the line. He agreed to my own suggestion that I should come to him as soon as anything else happens. My main concern was that I would be treated differently after turning him down. This actually did happen, which I will get into in a moment. However, I had an unexpected turn of events in January and ended up putting in my resignation late February. I applied for a position closer to my hometown and have now moved back home for personal, unrelated reasons, an illness in the family. So I'm actually not in that school anymore, but I miss it very much and hope to go back someday. Once I had put in my resolution, nothing Mr. S did affected me anymore. He never made another pass at me and stopped talking to me completely. In fact, he stopped talking to me at all. It was like I didn't exist. He began ignoring my discipline issues, and I didn't even care since I was leaving in May. After the 2 years of glowing reviews from him, at the end of the year, he tore me apart in my evaluation, despite having only been inside my classroom once that year. I didn't care at all. At the end of the year, the superintendent asked me to reconsider staying. He told me how much he admired the hard work I put into teaching, and he felt that they wouldn't find a quality foreign language teacher to replace me in that small district. I wanted to stay, but again, I was moving for personal reasons and could not. The goodbyes were very hard. And now the cherry on top. The superintendent had been quietly gathering reports and complaints about the Mr. S's performance from all of the unhappy teachers. He met with him before the school year began to have a meeting about changes and improvements that he wanted to see happen. And Mr. S just quit on the spot. 5 days before the school year began for teachers. He really left the school high and dry. They have not found a replacement principal and are making it work with the superintendent doubling as his job and select staff members stepping in to cover other duties. So, all in all, he is now the most hated man in the school district, and I don't have to be there among all the madness this year. The superintendent has also emailed me recently to let me know that I am welcome to come back to that district at any time. Smiley face. Thanks for listening. TLDR. Principal is now the most hated man in my former district.